Hello everybody, this is Enroute, and today I'm going to be making a video that I don't normally discuss. And today we're going to talk about wealth, my wealth, how fucking rich I am in the spirit. And if you're spiritually poor, this is a great video for you to watch. I know a bunch of spiritually poor people that make a shit ton more money than me. But yet I have more time for myself. I guess I would say I have more stability since I own a raw piece of land free and clear. So, whether or not, I'm out of work or whatever, I still have a place that I only have to pay taxes on once a year. So it's not really like a problem, So what I'm saying is that I see a lot of people that they're poor spiritually. They have money, but they're poor. You pay $3,000. Here's the thing. I've come to realize, like, I don't have it easy at all. I have it very difficult, actually. I have a fucking horribly rough life. But I have some kind of inner peace within me that allows me to continue because I have spiritual wealth and I have this engine of creative spark that allows me to do things in a way that maybe other people didn't think about, right? And maybe consider things other people didn't consider. And I don't know why people don't think this way. And I don't know why the world is so bland and not colorful and just boring, And hey, I'm not knocking Wednesday Addams. We all like the gothic look occasionally. But being spiritually rich is probably far more valuable than having money. And here's the difference. It's kind of like I am, let's say, for example, I'm a wealthy CEO, head of the company. I make, I don't know, $2 million a year, but I work 60 hours a week. I'm a dick to my wife. I'm a dick to everybody around me. And then this dude at one of the lower levels making a quarter of what I'm making seems to have all the respect and the friendship and the accolade and all that stuff, and seems to be more of a star, kind of like the whole Saul and David thing, right? Where Saul, because he had a higher inflated sense of who he is, he kind of betrayed himself in a way because he kept trying to take David down because he didn't understand why David was so liked. And David has spiritual wealth. He had that scrappiness, that understanding. He was there at the bottom with the people. He got it from the mud. He understood certain things that, like, it's kind of like when, that bratty rich kid who just doesn't have a proper perspective of life and doesn't understand certain things, so they kind of come and look at the world in more of a superficial way as opposed to in another way. And so these are the kinds of people that they tend to get jealous of, people who are more creative. They get jealous of people who do things differently, and they stay in this bubble because they don't want to stray away from a certain thing because they're so fixated on what everybody else is saying and what the world tells them is okay, what their parents say, what everybody, they're so fixated on that they never do what they kind of want to do. And I'm not talking about in a bad way, but it's just like, let's say you grow up in more of like a primer proper whatever society, but like, you keep yourself held back from doing what you actually want to do because of the financial difference or something, even though plenty of people can gain wealth doing whatever they want. But you're fixated on, like, oh, everybody in my family was, like, let's say a doctor, so now I'm just going to be a doctor. And so whatever it is that you actually, whoever it is that you were or whatever it is that you wanted was suppressed because you wanted to be like everybody else, and you didn't want to poke the bear. You didn't want to be different. You wanted to fit in, right? Because you were too afraid of what people had to say, right? Having spiritual wealth is like kind of having like a force field of like, I don't really care what anybody says. You know, I'm here now. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want, you know, as long as I'm not hurting anybody. Why should I care about what other people, you know, have to say about how I dress? Oh, you shouldn't wear that hat. Well, okay, thanks. I don't care. Great. You shouldn't, you know, talk the way that you do. Okay. Well, I don't know how to talk another way. So here I am. You know, just, I think what it is that like people get this blockage, you know, and obviously this is not going to be a full in-depth whatever, because this goes a long way. But what does this look like to have spiritual wealth? I know a ton of people that have way more money than me, but they have less than me. And it's not because they can't do it or they can't have it. I don't know what it is, but it's like when people lack the desire for themselves, they want to tear other people that have the desire down. And I never understood that, and I'm still working through this. I've progressed to the point where I don't care, you know, about what people think or say or whatever. But I'm also still kind of confused as to why some people waste so many years, so many hours of their life. You don't know how long you're going to be here. So much time worrying about your neighbor. Meanwhile, everything is from fucking Rent-A-Center, and they have a freaking monthly bill, you know, as tall as your head, and you know, you don't understand. You know, people are out here trying to look like they got it all, and meanwhile they're drowning. And so, you know, I want to bring back a more simpler way of living and a more spiritually connected to the earth way of living. Here's the thing, okay? I pay like nothing in taxes for my property, okay? And a lot of this, you know, stability thing, I've been talking about stability a lot because stability is so important, you know? And I'm fighting for my stability because I had to deal with a bunch of things, okay? And you know what? I understand I had to go through these things because I had to get spiritual education, okay? So that's kind of what happened. So, one moment. I had to get spiritual education. I had to learn about myself. And I started realizing like, oh, I probably have like ADHD and autism and all this other bullshit, possibly. I mean, I don't really go to the doctors. So, you know, whatever. And the thing is, at the end of the day, it's just a label. I don't really care. I'm going to be whoever I am. Like, whatever I am. That's what I am, right? So, I'm not going to, like, try to sit here and being like trying to do it like a label. I'm just gonna be how I feel, right? So, you know, a lot of the reason why I'm making this channel is because not because I want to lead, but because I know I can lead in a way that can actually like fix things, you know, like ego aside, this is not about that, you know, it's not about power, you know, and the thing is, I don't want people to follow me because I'm some rich dude. I don't want people to follow me because I'm some sexy chick, and I don't want people to follow me because I'm big and strong. I want people to follow me because of the content of my character and because I actually want to see things bloom, flourish, you know, grow. And once you open up your spiritual eyes, you can't deal with this anymore. You can't. And you have to become so authentic and so true to yourself. Like, you have to become you. And then that's kind of what it is to be spiritual. And that's why a lot of people, you know, they stay in their CPU, whatever, mode. And it's sad because people leave themselves there for so many years, and then they'll spend so many years trying to destroy people who are just trying to live their life and trying to do something different in this world, right? I cannot tell you the numerous battles I had to fight, and I realized that this is what it is. This life, this world, it's a battlefield, and it's always a battlefield. I've been at war my fucking entire life. This place is literally a battlefield. And another reason why I'm making this video is because I need to leave it here. I need to leave it here because I really don't know how long I have, right? Nobody does. So, you know, with that said, I'm going to leave my life here as an example of certain things because, like I always say, we're doing things wrong. And we need to wake up. Like, we're doing things wrong. And the thing is that, you know what the worst part about it is? That when you're spiritually opened, you see someone coming up and doing things perceptively. You're perceiving it to be as something correct, but you know underlying there's something bad, right? Appearing as an angel light, but you knowing that there's something underlying, but most of the masses cannot see it because they're not spiritually awake to understand it. They see things at face value. They don't look deeper. They can't read in between the lines. And that is where the manipulation of the society comes from, because people cannot read between the lines. And when you get awake, people want to take you down. And that's why a lot of people just stay asleep. They sit there, they eat their steak, they relish in the comfort of their desires, but they never allow themselves to wake up because they're too afraid of the battle. Well, I'm here to fight. If you are asleep, I hope you wake up, because spiritual wealth is a lot more powerful than any money you could ever have. You ever notice a rich man needs to look for talent because he has no talent? He has to use people in order to continue that wealth. He has to take their spiritual energy, their spiritual wealth, and give them a pittance in the physical reality. Give them crumbs in the physical reality. Meanwhile, you're multiplying their wealth by millions. It's time to wake up and value yourself. Content of character is far more important than how I look. And while I am going to be putting out a couple of videos, informal and formal, I want people to understand that when you wake up spiritually, you realize that people are multifaceted. Stop putting things in a box. When you put things in a box, then you don't actually allow yourself to see reality. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I'll talk to you later.